Jake, say hello to everyone. See, today we're going to do video on Atma Karaka, and he is my soul. He's my Atma. Yes, we just got a puppy. His name is Jake, and we're going to keep it that way because, oh my God, he's so heavy. I had to carry him all the way upstairs, and my lungs are done. I'm old. Oh my God, you're so cute. He's sleeping. I had to wake him up. I'm like, dude, you got to do a video with daddy. So yeah, this is our third golden retriever, Jake and Yash. And he's been doing a good job protecting Jake. Okay, I know you want to go to bed. Okay, let's go to bed. Sorry, guys. So yeah, his name originally is Jake. And then the girls, my girls, have an easier time pronouncing it. Jake, come here, Jake. And I wanted to name him Winslow, like Carl Winslow, but it's going to be hard. But anyway, it's just been cuteness all day long. We got him today. We made a decision last night. We were just sleeping, and on Facebook Memories, Brad's puppy pictures came up. And we're like, oh my God, that's so cute. We missed that time when he was a little puppy. And for some reason, within 2 or 3 minutes, we're like, okay, is there a golden retriever, a breeder here? And next thing you know, we're sending an email at 1 a.m. in the morning. And in the morning, we're calling and saying, okay, well, we're going to come pick this puppy up. So, knowing this, let's talk about Atmakaraka. And this is something that you guys, requested when I asked on my Facebook what type of video that you guys wanted to see. So we're not going to talk about the soul significator sun. Like it's a soul significator for everyone. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Chara Atmakaraka, meaning the soul significator which occurs due to his degree. Now it could be sun or it could be moon. There is only 7 Karakas scheme that I follow, which is Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. So these are the 7 Chara Atmakarakas. And what I'll discuss here today, it's accumulated knowledge that I've received from my teacher Mark Boney, from Sanjay Rath, from K.R. Rao, from A.B. Sundaramji, and many other, scholars in astrology, where I truly saw that, okay, this is Atmakaraka. And the easiest way to know who's your Atmakaraka is see which planet is holding the highest degree among these 7 planets that I mentioned. So that means highest meaning which one is the closest to the 30th degree point. So if you have a bunch of planets at 2 degrees, 4 degrees, 10 degrees, 11 degrees, and then you've got Saturn at 28 degrees. That means Saturn becomes your Atmakaraka. And if you do not know what your Atmakaraka is, you can go to the link here under shop section and check out the full astrological report from option 5 onwards. And literally on the second page, it shows you the degrees. And in the Germany section, it will show you which one is the AK, Atmakaraka. So you can just read the highest degree planet is your Atmakaraka. So let's get started with this particular subject. So first of all, now the thing that we want to understand is what is Atma, okay? And Atma, especially reading books like Autobiography of a Yogi, Life Divine by Sri Aurobindo, you realize that like on a lotus, how lotus is sitting on this leaf, okay? But the leaf is not touching the water. One side of the leaf is always dry and above the water. That's the same way soul is. The soul is having to experience this reality, okay? I wouldn't call it the illusion because Earth and everything that we see here is just the extension of the true reality. It's part of the reality. We only see this much, so we think that this is the whole reality, but there's a whole other reality. It's kind of like you're looking at just the small piece of the trunk of an elephant and you're thinking that as the whole universe. Well, there's the entire trunk, then the big head, then the big body. So the soul is like that leaf. It's in this reality, but it's experiencing pain, pleasure, okay? It's experiencing ups and downs in life, but it is not getting hurt. It is not feeling the pain. It's witnessing all these things. And that virtual witnessing is what you and I are all about. We are the one who deal with the actual pleasure and pain of that soul. So that's soul kind of in a nutshell. And it's also soul in a way where something that cannot be touched, smelled, felt, okay, or seen. That's also the soul. Now, what is Karaka? Well, Karaka usually represents the significator, right? What is the significator of marriage? Venus. What is the significator of land and real estate? It's Mars and Moon. Who is the significator of a guru? It's Jupiter. So, soul significator, that is Atma Karaka. Atma is the soul. And Karaka, like I said, is the significator. But this one word also means something else. Atmakaraka, we can divide them into two, Atma and Karaka. But when it's one, it's Atmakaraka, meaning the Karaka, the planet, the soul is here to do. It is something that, because we are alive, because there's a CPU of the soul. Okay, soul is keeping us alive. It's like, okay, keep finishing your karma, keep doing your karma. Okay, oh, you're done? Okay, I'm out. So till I am alive, till you are alive in this biomechanical suit, the soul significator, which is the Atmakaraka, is going to be working constantly. See, Atmakaraka is not something that can be influenced by some dasha, because regardless of what planetary time period you're going through in Vedic astrology, known as Mahadashas, the Atmakaraka is working 24/7 rigorously. Doesn't matter if some transit, a bunch of transit are over a certain planet or a house and they have nothing to do, they're not even aspecting your Atmakaraka. Well, Atmakaraka is at work. It's who you are. It's what makes me in the middle of the night set up these lights, make this video to present you something. It is the Atmakaraka is at work. Not because Moon came into this house and said, okay, Kapiel, this is who you are and you should be doing this. You should be making video on astrology. Whether Moon is in Pushya like is today, or it's in Ashlesha now, or whether Moon is in Purva Bhadrapada, or whether Moon, is in Rohini Nakshatra, it doesn't matter. My Atma stays consistent. It has that focus. It has that mission to fulfill. What the transits, the dashas, they do, it shows how many rocks the soul is going to get on its path. And how is it that you're going to be, carrying out the task that the soul has told you to do. So if the soul has told you to build a hut, well, due to this dasha, you might build a hut from mud. Or if that dasha is operating, you might build a hut from steel and metal. That's what matters. But at the end, soul says, you are to build this hut. I don't care how you do it. So that's one part of Atmakaraka. And the other part of Atmakaraka is that it is also known as the kingmaker. Why the kingmaker? Well, it's not like every soul is to be a king. It's just that The soul is trying to get you to the highest potential of why you're here, of what the task that needs to be accomplished. Is trying to make you a king of the task. So when you see that Atma Karaka is a kingmaker, meaning it wants you to stand up on the throne of your karmas and says, listen, I accomplished this. So that is also Atma Karaka. So then I see that many people will be then probably putting it in the comments. Well, what's the difference between the ascendant lord, moon sign and nakshatra, sun sign and nakshatra, and now you're bringing Atmakaraka into play? Which one is the most important? Well, if you really ask me, okay, the most important one is the Dharma Lord. The Dharma Lord is showing the path of the soul. And the Atmakaraka is just as important as the Dharma Lord, because the Atmakaraka is showing what the mission is. So Dharma Lord says that this is the path of the soul. You will be a gambler, and from gambler you're going to become a sports broadcaster, and from there you're going to take on a spiritual life. This is the Dharma. And then the Atmakaraka is saying, I don't care whether you become a pimp, whether you become Dan Blazarian, whether you become Michael Jordan, I want you to build this church in Oklahoma City. That's the Atmakaraka's mission and its task. So Atmakaraka stays consistent. Whether you're gambling, whether you're doing this, you have this thing in the back of your mind. I have to build that church. I have to make that money. How do I make it? Okay, let me do sports betting. Let me do this. Oh, I'm good in sports. Let me see if I can become a professional athlete. Oh, now I'm a professional athlete. Okay, now I'm retired. Now I'll become a sports broadcaster. Oh, now I finally have the money that I can do this. Let me build that church in Oklahoma City. Well, that was the Atmakaraka and the Dharma working together. But if you ask me about those four things, they're all part of who you are. So your ascendant lord may say, you love music. Okay? Your moon will show that you are very promiscuous and sexual. Sun will show that you love dealing with rituals and you love fire rituals. And then the Atmakaraka says you need to be a leader in government. You have to become a leader in government. That's why you're here. That's the Atmakaraka. So you see how you cannot be confused if it's 4, 10, 11. All of them have their own duty to fulfill in your life. So you can't be confused. Well, which one am I? Am I the ascendant lord? Am I the moon sign? Am I this? Am I that? No, you are parts of everything. If I said, let's say your name was X, Y, and Z. I'm like, see this hand? This is X, Y, and Z. You're like, what are you saying? I'm like, listen, this is X, Y, and Z. So no, this is just my hand. Okay, then I'll grab your leg. Okay, this is X, Y, and Z. It's like, no, that's my leg. But once I say that this is X, Y, and Z, then we're like, yeah, thank you for introducing me. Because I'm giving everything in a whole. I'm not holding your finger or other body parts that I don't want to hold. And I'm introducing you, with that part. That's not you. So once I say something in a whole, that's who you are. So when you say things like, what represents the marriage? Is it Venus? Is it the seventh lord? Is it the seventh house of the Navamsha? Is it Jupiter? Is it this? Is it Dharakarka? Well, it's just like holding a ear, nose, head. That's not the marriage. The whole thing, when you look at it, you're saying, this is your marriage. You will go on vacations on your marriage. You will fight in your marriage. You will have an affair in your marriage. Then you'll have children in your marriage. And through those children, you will have wealth in your marriage. That's what it represents. So you can't just take one planet and say, well, that's me. Well then, okay, so that means you're just your hand or you're just your nose. Then the other way that we need to understand Atmakaraka is usually the easiest thing you can do is make Atmakaraka the ascendant. So whatever the planet with the highest degree is in your birth chart, make that planet the ascendant and read the chart from there. Why? Because Atmakaraka is the soul. It is what's bringing you here. Now you know, regardless of where the Atmakaraka is from the ascendant or the moon, you know this is what the Atma is trying to accomplish. Once you make Atmakaraka the ascendant, you see how things are laid out for you to accomplish what you want to accomplish, or perhaps not to accomplish. Not every soul fulfills its Atma's mission. That's why you have rebirths. That's why you have those desires, the unfulfilled desire. Because as soon as you have a desire, that desire now has to be fulfilled. Because desire is so powerful, it's like people don't get it. When they set out the atomic bomb in World War II, do you know that atomic bomb created waves that went beyond not just the solar system, but to Andromeda galaxy, to other galaxy, and the intelligent life there who can detect these uncertainties in the pattern and this web of the universe. They're like, oh, what is this? What is this new wave that is coming? And then they find this, oh, there's this planet called Earth, and they just detonated the atomic bomb. And from that moment, you can see these other alien lives, higher intelligent lives, shutting down nuclear plants, shutting down missile plants. So in the same way, just like, the atomic bomb happens, the thoughts that we have, the thoughts that we create have a big impact as well. So when that thought has a desire, well, that desire just created this energy within the universe that is so strong that the soul now has to be tied to it. They're like, you created this wave of desire, you have to fulfill it. Otherwise, this wave is going to get more and more toxic here. Like, for example, thought is actually faster than the speed of light. Because let's say, for example, if I could go at a speed of light, it'll take me still probably 100 million years or million years to get to Andromeda galaxy from here. But within an instant, I can transport myself in some planet in Andromeda galaxy right now, and I'm talking to someone in Andromeda galaxy. Look how fast that is. I can instantly right now be at Mars. And I can just explore. I can just imagine I'm exploring Mars. Once science figures out how to tap not at the speed of light, but at the speed of thought, then you got some real intelligence on this planet. So when you create that desire, or that desire that wasn't fulfilled, well, the Atma just has to repeat itself and become some other planet as the Atmakaraka, so it can fulfill that part of the karma in some other life. Then you also have to see just from the ascendant where the Atmakaraka is, because that's where you will pay the most karma. Wherever the Atmakaraka is, that's where you will pay the most karma. And that's one thing in this scenario. The other thing, if you look at the 6th and 8th from your Atmakaraka. So wherever your Atmakaraka is, the 6th house from itself and 11th house from itself, the things related to those houses or people related to those houses will be the most biggest obstacle in your life, including the 12th from the Atmakaraka. 11th from the Atmakaraka, from wherever it sits, from the Lagna, from the ascendant, will be your biggest support, will be your biggest, confidence, and in helping you to fulfill those desires. So you don't even have to make Atmakaraka the ascendant in some way. You can just read where the Atmakaraka is, and you can see 6th and 8th from itself will be the houses of obstacles and transformation. 12th house from Atmakaraka will be the houses of the expenses and losses and pleasure. Now, can you do the same thing from the ascendant? Sure. Can you do the same thing from the moon? Sure. So then what is left? Well, you got to understand, again, we are not one-dimensional beings. We are multi-dimensional, multifaceted beings. If in the morning I want to go to the Himalayas and just, be a puppet to Babaji and just do whatever he says, by noon, I want to be an entrepreneur. By 5 p.m., I want to be Bhaga. I want to have the lavish food and everything. By evening, I want to be the greatest father and the family man. And I have no resonance of wanting to go to Himalayas in those particular terms. So you see how I change. We all change from hour to hour, especially based on Hora and based on our thoughts, based on our process. So when you look at all of these things together, they always will be part of you. So one part from Atmakaraka is causing obstacles, let's say with one's bosses. Well, from the Lagna, the big obstacle could be your relationship with the younger sibling. And you can have both. Why not? Who said you can't have it? Now, really, I can probably give a 3-hour lecture just on Atmakaraka. 3-hour lecture on Atmakaraka, and especially talking about different Atmakarakas. If Sun is the Atmakaraka, if Mars is the Atmakaraka, just those planets itself will show one part of the big mission of the soul. But it's going to take too long. And I would have to prepare more details about it than for me to just blab my mouth right now. So anyway, though, I just wanted to show people what Atmakaraka is and the importance it holds. But there are many, many other important factors about Atmakaraka. Even in Jaimani, you can find many, many things from it. Okay? So anyway, guys, this is my analysis of Vedic Astrology. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And again, if you want to know where your Atmakaraka is placed, all either astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.